Hi, I'm warning you now, this is going to be a long video. I'll try to go faster. The first run through I did um, took a really long time, so I'm just going to try to go faster. Anyway, this is a video that was requested by Beautiful Pink Queen. Um, so she actually just requested the DIY planners that I made, but I was already planning on doing this video because I think it's kind of fun to look at the progression of planners. Um, so I'm just gonna do it all in one go. Hopefully, you guys won't lose patience. But anyway, this is roughly 18 years worth of my planners. Um, the first one that I have is from back when I was in college. I think this was my sophomore, junior year in college. Um, but anyway, back then, I just bought this one at the stationery store by campus, and I really liked it. I liked how big it was. I liked how thick the pages were. Um, but if you'll notice, there was a lot of bleeding from the pens that I used. I think I just used regular ballpoint pens. I did notice that on the few pages where I used a Flair pen, I don't know if you can see that here. The Flair pens didn't bleed through. Well, maybe it did, but it seems like these are like leaking after a few years. So anyway, even then I color coded. Uh, anything social was purple. Um, back then I used red for school stuff because red is important. Um, and yeah, so that's it. This was when I was in college. When I looked at the year in terms of the academic year from August through May. And then the following year, 97 through 98, I don't have that one. I don't know what happened to it. I do remember I made it myself, and I used those portfolios that are used for artwork. So each page was in a protective sleeve. I don't know what happened to it, but I remember making it with Sharpies and a ruler. So much in the style of this one. Now this one is also done with Sharpies and on thick paper, but I put it in one of those 3-prong report holders. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so that's how I made that one. Yeah, I just went to town, and I think this is when I started using stickers for birthdays. There's my 22. Wow. Yeah, I still actually do that in my current planners. I really go all out on my birthday square. So, how cute, 22. So this was good. I was able to customize it. Now, if I had thought ahead, I would have stuck some pages in between each month and done my homework planning there. So these were, this is how I kept track of my reading assignments, because you would get a syllabus for every class, and then instead of going through every syllabus every week, I just went ahead and put all my assignments, all my reading assignments for the year, for the semester, I should say, on this page. And then I had it color coded, and every class had a color assigned to it. So my binder and anything that I wrote with regards to that class was in that color. It was all coordinated. So that was what, August of 98 through July of 99. Then at this point, July of 99, I got a computer. Is that when I got a computer? Yes, that was when I got a computer. Because prior to that, I'd been using the computers on campus because I lived near campus. But this is when I started nursing school, and I had to move back home, so I needed a computer to do all my homework and stuff. So at that point, I was just writing stuff in black. Why did I write work? I think this was like my first real job. No, that's not true. I'd had 2 jobs before that, but this was when I started working at a hospital. So anyway, since I had a computer, I had, I think it was Print Shop. So I had a lot of fun for years, seriously years, making my my own calendar because I could manipulate the fonts and manipulate the colors, and I adored that. I've always been into different fonts and stuff. So that was that. So you could see that I used that computer then, that program, to make my calendars for the years, for the years after that. I used glitter pens that year. So this is 2002. So these I actually kept in one of those report covers, the kind that it's just, you know, an acetate cover and usually like a black back or something, and then you just like slide the papers in. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called report covers, but that's what I used for these. So it was nice because it was, you know, letter size paper, so I was just able to, if I needed to, stick stuff in there quite easily without having to fold it or anything. So that was good. So yeah, used these for years. Look at these awesome fonts. This is when I started installing scrapbooking fonts on my computer. So that was fun. Now this went up through October of 2005. I think at that point, or was it at that point? Something happened with Print Shop. I couldn't use it anymore, so I had to get this bootleg ugly one off of Kristen'sGuide.com, Kristen'sGuideTripod.com. Let me see if that's coming out. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if that website is still around, but that was what Google gave me in terms of a month at a glance. So I think I don't know what happened there, but I couldn't do this anymore. I actually kind of wish I still was able to make these calendars like that. I really liked being able to manipulate, you know, the everything basically. I was really able to customize all the fonts that I wanted. So then at this point, making little planner covers were little planner covers. That was all the rage in the scrapbooking world that year. So for this year, actually August 2005 through December 2006, I just got this cheap little pocket planner at Michael's and I decorated it. Now what I did not like about this is how small the pages were. Also there was a lot of, and now these pages are actually thicker than most of the pocket planners you find. But even so, when I wrote on the pages with pen, it would leak through. So I started writing in pencil, and I don't really like that. I think it looks sloppy, and it starts to just kind of rub and get a little fuzzy. So I didn't like that. What was nice about this was just being able to throw it in my purse, but I always have big purses, and it would get lost easily in my purse. But yeah, I guess this was a good one. Later, I ended up making tons of these for my coworkers and stuff, but later I ended up looking for more of these pocket planners and I couldn't find them. The ones that I found were like super thin paper, or they had pictures of horses or kittens. I can't stand that. So I didn't make another one. What I did end up doing was this. Now this is the beginning of my total DIY. This book, it's a chipboard cover book. It's quite thick, quite sturdy. This came naked, so it was just the cover, you know, was that brown color, and then it came with these tabbed pages, 12 tabbed pages actually, and then an inner filler page between each tab. I think these books were made by Junkets, and they're no longer around anymore, I don't think. Sorry, I'm just looking to see this is capturing, yes. So I painted, did I paint this? Or I think I just colored it with StazOn, and then I Mod Podged all this paper onto it. I decorated it. Now this paper line was by KI Memories, and the whole paper line was dedicated to organization and calendar. Like it had that whole theme, so it was really good for this. Like all of these stickers and everything was from that line. So I really liked that. I adhered everything and I Mod Podged it. So it held up okay, I guess. And then between each, I think I took the spiral off and I stuck these little pockets between each, or maybe in front of each month. Yeah. So that was just, you know, to hold like business cards or stuff that I, you know, you collect little pieces of paper throughout the month. So I thought that would be helpful. However, what I did not anticipate was that these would be too small. I ended up folding pieces of paper a lot of the time and just sticking them in here. These were handy for business cards and stuff, but not for big pieces of paper like I usually tend to have, or collect, I should say. Then I just stamped the month, and the calendar I made on Word, I believe, so I used my own fonts for that. Again, I use my same color coding. The green is for work. So yeah, that's that, and I printed it on scrapbook paper with a very subtle design so that it wouldn't overpower the writing, you know. So this was my first, you know, true DIY planner, and it took me quite a while, I think, to do this. May not look like that. Whoa, what happened here? That was a crazy month, I guess. See, I like having space to write notes on the month at a glance. So yeah, that's that. And I meant for this, I guess, to be a dashboard, my to-do list with sticky notes. I never used it as such, which is kind of too bad. But that's that one. It is very thick, but very durable, and it's actually not that heavy. It's pretty light. I did really like this one. However, the ones that I really liked were the following ones. So this year, I, again, made my own. I cut everything out. What I did is I made the filler pages, and then I got the covers, the front and the back, laminated at Kinko's. Now it's off FedEx office, I guess. But back then it was Kinko's, so I got these laminated, and then I had them spiral bind it so that I could flip it over easily. Now, this was the mistake that I made this month, or this year when I made this planner, was I had it laminated with I did the facing page for January on that first page, on the back of the cover page, and that wasn't a good idea, because then when it got laminated, I couldn't just write on it like I wanted to with the pen. I had to use a dry erase or a permanent marker. So, so yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake, but I learned for the next year for that. So, I put, you know, things to do this month, and that was really helpful. Oh, what I really liked about this planner was the pockets that I made for it. I adhered this page. Now, the calendar page was blank. It had just had the days of the week, the days of the week printed. And then you could just customize it, either write it in or, as I did, stamp in the dates. This came in a paper pad by Junkets. And again, they're no longer around, but it came in an 8x8 pad and a 6x6 pad. And I bought a few pads of each size. And then I ended up giving a lot of them away because people saw this and liked it, and they said, oh, I want to do the same thing. So I gave them away, and now I kind of wish that I had kept them, because it'd be nice to have these blank pages. I really liked the size of them. But anyway, so then I mounted this on here on the cardstock with that red Terrifically Tacky tape, only on 3 sides, in order to make that pocket. So that was very, very helpful. I love this, because I could stick bigger pieces of paper. I would just fold the piece of paper and then stick it in there. I found that very, very helpful. And then I did, you know, I was able to write notes and, I don't know, calculate stuff on the facing page. So that was nice. Anything I had to do, then I would just kind of make a box for it and check it off. So this is a good month. See, I had lots of stuff to do. I got most of it done, apparently. And then now this is my color coding for this year. Some of these I had already been using for a while. Green for work, purple for social. I mean, I've been using that since 1996. But what I added was, I think this was about the time that no, well, I had already been actually for a few years involved heavily in my alumni association. So any alum-related events were in red. Um, Purple social, family stuff. Travel is light blue or turquoise. I still use that color to denote travel. Unfortunately, after this year, I didn't have much traveling anymore. There's not enough light blue or turquoise in my subsequent planners, but anyway. Appointments are orange. I still use that. And then birthdays were pink. Now, I no longer really write birthdays down in my planner. Maybe I should. But because of Facebook, you know, I guess I'm just used to Facebook telling me whose birthday it is when. So yeah, what I ended up doing for this year was writing the birthdays in this corner, and I thought that was, you know, better in order to free up space on the actual month part. So again, every single month had this big pocket, and that was helpful again, just, you know, to-dos and stuff. So sorry, I'm trying to show all the cute decorations I did. Well, it was pretty much the same. I did the same style of decoration every month. I just kind of changed up the papers and which punch I punched, which punch I used. So this was the year that my life changed quite a bit because my sister got diagnosed with stomach cancer, and I was her caregiver. So she got sick or she got diagnosed actually in June of 2008. So this is why I no longer have time to make my own planners anymore. I was just really busy with my sister and didn't have time to make them anymore. So that's why December of this year is pretty, I mean, yeah, I just didn't have much to do, like personal stuff to do. So that's that one. Now, I do have the 2009 that I made, but I made it before my sister's care got so involved that I had to spend, like, you know, every waking moment with her. I made this 2009 one in either September or October of 2008 because of my work schedule. For example, we're in early September right now, and I'm already being asked to commit to things in January. So I have to make my planners, you know, way in advance of the new year. Most people go shopping for a new calendar, maybe November, December. No, I have to have mine ready to go months before that. So this one I made while my sister was sick, but I think I remember making it on her dining room table while she napped. So this one, I love the colors, love the colors, but I didn't get as creative with it as I could have, I guess. Now see, I learned from the previous year's mistake not to make the facing page for January on the other side of the cover page, so that was good. I made a separate one for that. So this is exactly the same process. It was the same pre-printed blank calendars. I just stamped in the date. This took a long time to stamp in all the dates. It just did. I really liked how I did the months, though. That was I think it was two different sets of stamps, I think. They were really pretty. So, yeah, so that's that. Again, I made the same pockets for it. Laminated the front and the back and got them spiral bound. So, same stuff. I really love this paper line. I love teal, I love orange. I don't really care for pink too much, but this is the one shade of pink that I love. That really strong, like hot pink, like fuchsia. Love that. So yeah, that was the last calendar that I made, the last planner I made, because, like I said, life got really tough after that. My sister ended up passing away in 2010, so 2009 was really, really busy taking care of her, so I didn't even try to make my own planner. I went on Etsy and I ordered one because I I couldn't find what I needed in a store. I just couldn't find planners, actually. So I ordered one from Etsy. I got it in this colorful design because I needed some color. I needed some happiness in my life at that point. So this Etsy seller is Mod. Where's the sticker? I don't know if you can read it, but Mod86Designery. .etsy.com, or I think it might be mod86designery.com now. I think she has her own domain. But I've looked recently and she's still selling on Etsy, so you can look for that Mod86Designery. She has different styles available. So this planner, it's small, it's cute, it fits in the purse easily, it's very thin. I liked that. What I didn't like, and you know, this is just me being picky, I wish the corners were rounded, because as you can see, anything, you know, laminated sharp corners always end up peeling like that. So I always round everything that'll sit still for too long. That's what I always say. But I like to round corners on anything that's going to get a lot of use, because it just helps it hold up better, in my opinion. So it has a year overview. And then this one didn't come with any tabs, so I just made my own little sticky tabs. It looks a little, I didn't even have time to write the months on the tabs, that's how bad it was. But this came with month at a glance, and then after that it had like a notes page, and then it has the weeklies. And again, as usual, I do not use the weeklies as much as I should. I don't know what I have against using weekly pages, but I just never, ever use them. I try to, but I don't end up using them to its full potential. So that's that. There you go. That's that planner. Mod86designery.com. And then I was still, you know, busy, and I've still been busy ever since then. So for the following year, I went ahead and ordered again from the same Etsy seller, Mod86Designery. And oh, I forgot to mention on the other one, they both have this handy elastic strap, which is a lifesaver. Same stuff. See how frayed the corners are? All the corners are frayed. This one's really coming up. So yeah, that's one thing I don't like about it, but I love the colors of this planner. The design for this month at a glance is a little bit different. See how the corners are rounded? That's cool. I love the font. I can't remember if that one had it. The other one had it, but this one has some space at the bottom. I went ahead and asked her for the tabs for this calendar, which is very handy. And again, I did not use the weekly pages as much as I should have. So that's that. Very clean, not a whole lot of decoration. So if I had had time, or if I had wanted to, I could have, you know, added stickers or stamped on this. But there it is. And the paper, oh, that's the thing I like about the paper she uses, is very smooth, so it writes pretty nicely. So that's that. At the end, there's space for notes. And then this one, I don't think the other one had it, but this one had a nice little folder pocket in the back. So that's handy, again, for all those little loose bits of paper that you end up collecting throughout the month. And now we come to the Erin Condren. I got this Erin Condren planner. I love, love, love it. But I got it for half off, basically. I used one of those, I think it was Plum District kind of deals, where you buy the voucher for $25 and it's good for a $50 purchase. So I ended up getting this planner for $25, which is great. the last time I looked, you couldn't use those voucher things anymore. Um, and I didn't get one for 2013 because I just was, yeah, I wasn't going to pay $50 for a planner, unfortunately. Especially because I didn't use this as much as I had wanted to. I didn't use it to its full capacity, and I just didn't want to spend $50 on paper that I wasn't going to use, especially, regardless of how cute it is. I just didn't want to do that. I'd rather spend the $50 on um, something that I would, on supplies to make myself one. So, um, anyway, I love the aesthetic of the Erin Condren. I loved it. But look, I didn't even use these pages. Isn't that terrible? What a waste. My coworkers ended up loving my Erin Condren, and a lot of them ended up ordering the planners for themselves. But see, look, I didn't use these weekly pages at all. I love the colors, I love the aesthetic, but I had all these plans to, I was going to put my workouts, I was going to put my to-do list, I was going to, log my calories, and I just didn't end up doing it. For a lot of things, I prefer paper planners, but for, hold on, I'm just going to check if it's still coming out. Yeah. Anyway, for certain things, I do use my phone a lot easier. For example, logging calories and workouts. I use myfitnesspal.com. I use the app on my phone, and that just seems so much easier to me, just to log that in as I eat, or log in my workout on there when I'm at the gym, because at the gym I have my phone, but I don't have my planner with me. So I ended up not needing that not needing the planner or space to write those things, because I could just do that, a little bit easier a lot easier actually on my phone. So this ended up being just a waste of space, unfortunately. I did, use the month at a glance, but I did not like that the squares were so small. Now, I think for this year, the month is on 2 pages, so the squares are bigger, so maybe I would like that now, but again, I wasn't going to pay that money for all these filler pages that I'm not going to use. So, but I love all the quotes, I love the facing pages. Where are the pages that I'm talking about? Did I imagine them? I love this. It's just too bad that I didn't use them, I didn't like how some months the to-do and the goals were, this big, and on other months they were really small. There's no uniformity in that. I think that has since been corrected, but I just did not care for that either. So yeah. And then I didn't end up using those stickers. And I didn't end up using them because they're for use. It seems that they're sized to be used on the weekly pages, but since I didn't use the weeklies, well, I wasn't going to use the stickers. So there's only a few missing. And it's too bad. Let me make sure this is coming out. Yeah, so it's too bad that I didn't use them. Maybe I'll use them on my planner for next year. I can always just rip this out and hole punch them and use them. And actually, I don't remember now where the note pages were, but I ripped those out and I hole punched them, and will be using them in my planner for next year. I really did love this Keep It Together folder. I didn't like that it was short, and I think that got corrected for this year. So I really love that. I think I'm going to end up ripping this out too and reusing it. Maybe I'll extend it and make it a little bit bigger, but I love that. Loved this. I thought that was neat. And I loved the year at a glance, or the couple of years at a glance on the last page. I think the first page has it too. No, it doesn't. Just that one. I liked how thick the lamination was. It's really, really thick, really durable. This only peeled a little bit for as much use as this thing got. Yeah, they both peeled. So, again, round the corners, people, round the corners. So, if this thing wasn't so thick and so heavy, and so expensive, I probably would have ordered it again. And I know that there's I think it's called the monthly notebook. It's a notebook that you buy from Erin Condren, and you can add the month inserts to it. Not inserts, but you can add the month to the notebook. But it's, I think, $36, which is still pricey, and it's mostly, paying for the notebook part of it, and I don't need the notebook part of it. So I really, really wish that Erin Condren would come up with, or would release her designs on loose pages so that you could just, put them in your ring bound planner, because now, after all these years, 18 years, I realized that ring planners are the way to go. But I think if those were offered, I would definitely go for that option. So now we come to my planner for this year. Let me check how we're doing on time. Oh my God, it's still really long. I'm sorry, you guys. Anyway, this is the planner that I have this year. It's a Smash book. I'm not going to take this off. It's a Smash book. It was the 365 style Smash book. So I just decorated the front, put some stickers. Oh, did I move? Yes, I moved. I left the cover on there, which you're not supposed to do, but I liked it because it keeps it clean. And I'm sure by now, if I didn't have this cover on there, I'm sure by now all these little bits of washi tape would be peeling off. So I like that. Plus, it's easy to clean. Just get a wet, a Clorox wipe and clean it. And then I put the Smash pen holder thing through it, and that's really handy. However, I don't like these pens so much for use in my planner. I've realized that I don't like ballpoint pens. I like the colors, I just don't like the ballpoint pens. So, that's one thing that I've realized. I made a little folder for the Smash book. I think these are Smash, I don't know what they're called, but you just buy this section of it, and then you can stick pages in there. I guess it's to add things to your Smash book, but I just made a folder, a pocket for it, and then it just hooks on like that, so that's handy. And I did not make this this month on my own. I'm sorry, I'm tired and I'm like losing steam, but anyway, this I found online. I think it was newbiehomeschooler.com, like newbie, NEWBBEE, like a honeybee, newbieschooler.com, or newbiehomeschooler.com. They had it on their website to print out, so I just printed that out on cardstock, and I cut it and pasted it onto the Smash book. I ended up ripping out a lot of the pages in the Smash book because it was just too thick, and again, I'm not going to use the filler pages, but I really like that. I really like the designs on this. It's too bad I covered up most of the really cool ones with my month. This is neat paper. I love that. And then I made I didn't make the tabs, but I used the Smash tabs. Is that coming out? Yeah. I used these Smash tabs to make the tabs. And then these stickers that have the months, these little tiny stickers are so old. I've had these since, I want to say 2006, 2007 maybe. But I thought, heck, I'm never going to use them for anything else. I may as well use them. And I thought they were going to peel off right away, but they haven't actually. They've stuck on really, really nicely. So here's the thing I don't like about this planner. You hear that? It sounds like the bed of a cheap motel. It's really squeaky. So, yeah, still have a few months to go. But I did like this planner. I got a lot of compliments on it at work. Everybody that saw it loved it. And I actually got some offers to make people some, but nope, I don't have time to make my own, let alone anyone else's. This didn't take very much time to decorate and to just adhere these things on there. But yeah, that's my last planner that that I worked on, that I made. I think for this coming year, I am going to use a day timer. I found a very nice light blue day timer at Staples. And then today, I'm so excited, I found a beautiful teal day timer at Walmart. It hadn't been there last week, and it was there this week, and it wasn't even in the section it was supposed to be in, but I picked it up and I ran with it. So I'm looking forward to making, well, to finish making my inserts for that. I've already started. So yeah, that's it. I'm so sorry that this video was so long. Thanks for bearing with me. Hopefully you found it interesting or found something that you could use at some point. Okay, thanks. Have a great day.